Accuracy, check. Range, check. Power, check. Of course, I'm talking about none other than the MSR Thermite. This is part of the DLC weapons that you have to unlock by actually putting money into the game. I know that's not something that you guys would actually want to do, but just look at the design on this thing. Could you really say no? I mean, I per se don't have it. This is also another one of those clips that my good help Notorious Blaze made for me, and of course, just looking at this thing, I kind of want to get my hands on it. And if you guys can look at the stats on the right here, you guys can see just how accurate and how good this weapon really is, because all the stats that you really want out of a weapon are there. What is going on, all you Ghost Recon Wildlands fans? Unpredictable 60 here, bringing you guys the next gun review in Ghost Recon Wildlands. Hope you guys have been watching the previous episodes, because I have already previously done the door kicker, which is the P90 submachine gun. It's actually a really good weapon, and I know I got a lot of feedback on that video, so you guys might want to pay attention to this one, because in this video we'll be talking about the long-range sniper rifle, the MSR. But they call it the MSR Thermite, so this is kind of something that is already customly built, and whatever the stats are for this weapon are already there, and you can't really change anything about this weapon, which, I mean, that's not always a bad thing. But as you guys can see, my friend here was trying to take out a helicopter, and you do have to consider, when you snipe in this game, you do have to consider bullet travel time, because it really does all depend on how far away you shoot, and also how you train your target, is how I say it. And what that means is when you are sitting there and you're trying to shoot a person, you can't have the ridicule directly on the person if they're moving or if the vehicle's moving, because the bullet, like I said, the travel time also plays a huge effect in this game, and also has one of the most realistic ways to shoot in this game, and just the most realistic shooting period in this game, is because you don't see a lot of this stuff in your normal other shooter. Normally when you snipe somebody, the shot's just right there where the bullet or the ridicule is on the map. It's not actually like you have to follow the person or lead the person into the shot. So with this game, that's what I really appreciate, is the fact that it requires a lot more skill to actually snipe. Okay, so one of the main things I want to go over is damage output for this weapon. Now, of course, many snipers have high damage output, but just how effective does that make this weapon? Well, one thing that really helps damage output is the vehicle damage upgrade in the skill tree. If that's maxed out, then your weapon is sure to prove useful on the battlefield. Now, as far as effectiveness and damage go, of course you want a sniper that has a lot of range on it, because of course snipers are supposed to be there to eliminate the threat of having to deal with many enemies at one time. Up close and personal, you can just take them out without them even seeing you coming. Now, of course, this is something that I'd recommend in most situations, especially with this game, but you have to be good at what you do, because if not, then you're going to alert the enemy, and you're going to have a lot more to deal with than just foot soldiers on the ground. So one of the best ways to secure your shot is, like I said, you want to lead your enemy into the bullet, because that way you're not sitting there trying to shoot the person as they're walking, but you are shooting a little bit ahead of that person, so that when they walk right into your bullet travel. And then that way, even if the bullet travels slowly, you can still have a little bit of time to get your shot lined up perfectly to execute, and you won't have to worry about alerting anybody else that you don't want, and you won't have to worry about any unwanted enemy showing up, whether it be helicopter or via vehicle that's on the ground with the turret on it, anything like that. You won't have to deal with anything that annoying. Now, a lot of these customized weapons that are already previously built, unable to be customized, do have very good stats for them. And like I said, this is one of those weapons that you will want to use if you wanted to just take out a whole base before you enter, because this is something that could be very useful even if you wanted to use it without the silencer. I have read that reusing a silencer in this game makes your bullet travel slower for some reason, and it probably is like that in real life too. So this game is really realistic when it comes to sniping, and I think that's what they really want to portray in this game, is realism. And that's what I really appreciate, is because you really don't find that with a lot of games, and I think that's what makes this game so addicting. And as you guys can see, my guy is struggling right here. And this is when it can get really difficult to use a sniper rifle, because if you have multiple enemies spraying you down with any assault rifle or rifle at all, then you have to worry about things like people shooting you, and then you have to worry about bullet sway and all this stuff that just makes your vision blurry. It shakes your screen, and it makes it very difficult to use your sniper to where you are struggling just as he did. I mean, it's not something that you can just avoid just by going into cover, because you have to look at all angles, and snipers in this game are definitely not something you'd want to use at close range. Even the semi-auto snipers are not something you would want to use at close range. But in my opinion, this sniper rifle is definitely worth the money, and so far so good with as far as the weapon and the packs that come with this. And you know, the door kicker was a good weapon, and this MSR Thermite seems to be a good weapon. You can still put a silencer on here, which would make this weapon so much better, and it was just something that I would highly recommend for those of you looking for a good sniper rifle. Now, of course, there's plenty of sniper rifles in the game that you can find, but if you want one for style even, then you're welcome to purchase this thing, because it definitely has a lot of good perks to it. And like I said, snipers can be picky, and some people might like a semi-auto sniper, some people might like the bolt action. Personally, I don't mind the bolt action, just because those are the ones that really have your power. The ones that are semi-auto are kind of just like your Dragunov or something like that, and you're just like, of course you guys know who use snipers that the Dragunov is not the best one to go with. I mean, that's if you're going to be semi to close range, and I just don't think long range would be the best idea for a Dragunov. Maybe that would work in real life, but games like this, I mean, of course you can get easy headshots with something like that. I mean, I'm not saying that it's not a good idea to use it. If you guys want to use that, then all more power to you, but this is just a better sniper rifle in my opinion, and I would probably keep saying that because that's just what I believe. If you guys share a different opinion, you can leave it down below in the comment section. But I think I'm going to end it right here, because I think I've talked about just as much as I possibly can with this weapon. If you guys have enjoyed this gun review, then go ahead and subscribe, because there will be plenty more gun reviews coming your way. I will make sure that I try to talk about every weapon that is in the game that will be part of the DLC or part of a weapon pack that you have to actually purchase. If you guys have any comments or questions, leave them down below in the comment section. If you guys would like to show your support, all you have to do is go on ahead and hit the subscribe button, and then you can also hit the share button and the like button. Those three things are the key elements to showing your support and just getting our name out there as quickly and as efficiently as possible, because we like to see all the support we get from our fans, and that is why we continue to want to entertain you all, because it's just very fun for us to get to do things like this. And as you guys can see, again, here's another showcasing of how good this weapon looks. So for those of you looking for an attractive and appealing sniper rifle, this is definitely one for you. I would actually want to get my hands on this, but I really don't want to put actual money into this game like that. But you know, for those of you who have the availability to do so, then go right ahead. But on that note, this has been your broadcast, and Unpredictable is out.